right, y'all tuned into the Bankedoutt Radio Show. I'm your host, Andreas, a.k.a. Discover This, and we have two individuals lined up for you tonight. I came all the way from Atlanta, Georgia to be on the show, which I truly appreciate that. We're going to introduce the first guest today. We have Mr. Buie the Fourth, who's a Philadelphia native. That's where he developed his passion for fashion. In 2008, Mr. Buie moved to Atlanta, where he attended American Intercontinental University. And while attending the AIU, he began working for his upcoming designers as a way to gain an inside perspective on the business of fashion. He has his clothing line, is it Team Buie Clothing?
Mm-hmm.
Team Buie Clothing. He also has already written a book, or the book is in process?
It's in process.
The book is in process. He also goes around to various schools and is a motivational speaker to the youth, which I think is fantastic, doing something in the community and sort of the way of giving back and providing inspiration to all those who might be on the wrong path or who just need, a little spark in their life. So, Bernard, thank you for coming, man.
Man, it's a blessing to be here. Thank y'all for having me.
No doubt. My partner Jay Sims, when I saw you on his Hustlepreneur series, I was like, yeah, that's definitely somebody I want to talk to.
It's powerful.
I feel that the way that you told your story in that particular interview, I know there's more to it, but I just wanted to dive a little bit deep into that and really like to go in on all the things that you've experienced being a businessman, the way you even became a businessman, I thought was very interesting. So for all my listeners out there who don't know who you are, can you give us a little background about what really inspired you to get into fashion?
All right. So when I was just a buck, starting off, my mom, my dad they always told me to dress for success. Just like you're going to meet the person that you always wanted to meet, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a female, or you going to church, or you going out at night, always dress the part, just to be your best. So, fast forward to when I was in high school, my mom, she wanted me to go to her high school that she was doing security at because I was getting in trouble just playing ball, cutting class and stuff like that. And she said, you're going to be in my fashion show that I'm doing at the school. And the first designer that I met, he inspired me to just really, really want to be unique in what I was wearing and set trends, no matter if they was wearing what I was wearing, but they got inspiration from what I was wearing because they seen that, he wearing cowboy boots and he in high school, like he's black, he's from Olney, like you wasn't doing that. So I just always was trying to, push the envelope on dressing for success.
Okay, definitely interesting, especially what you say with the cowboy boots, and that's not necessarily a trend that's up north.
Nah.
It's more down south, rural areas. Yeah, I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I still don't like cowboy boots.
See what I'm saying? Yeah, like True Religion was like Levi's for me in high school.
Okay.
So I was wearing Trues and cowboy boots, like with white tees when everybody was wearing Jabot jeans and stuff like that.
But as far as your fashion, I saw that you started when you, I thought the story about your dad, dropping you off, just tell you go get it.
Yeah.
I thought one that was very, what was it, term for it? I don't think it was hard because it taught you what you can push yourself to and what you can accomplish. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes the way that parents are and their parenting style could be critiqued without being in the right context and get a lot of negative criticism.
For sure.
But I thought that was great that you was able to rise to the occasion.
I mean, I had no choice. Like just let me see, just having an opportunity to leave Philly was already enough for me. Like, they sent me on a plane, like, go figure it out. We're going to put you in, thank God they put me in one of the nicest parts of Atlanta, coming up. So I got to start off comfortably. But, just seeing the hustle,
Yeah.
Like my dad, he didn't have nothing. You know, my mom didn't have nothing growing up. They built everything that they have now. So how could I not go out and do what I'm supposed to do, knowing, seeing the struggle that they went through and seeing, you know, where they are and where they're still going. So, you know, when he gave me that suit and said, yeah, go figure it out, it was like, all right, like, that was when, like, Simba, you know, that was the Lion King moment, like this is yours
putting
now.
Simba in the air,
you know, go make it happen. And I took it just like that.
I definitely, you know, I agree with something like that, because it's not like he set you up for failure or anything, because they put you up. You know what I'm saying? They took care of your basic needs, and it's just like that basically was college.
Yeah.
You know,
that
because college is the same way. You send your kid off, you already know they're going to an institution, they're going to have, you know, their basic needs met, you know, food, clothing, shelter, and all that. Everything else is up to them.
Yeah.
So as far as when you was doing it, getting a t-shirt going, started selling those, where did you see where you had to really, I guess, go back and refine and decide what product line you actually wanted to stick to? Because as business owners, I see it all the time where we create stuff, but then we can start wanting to do everything.
Yeah.
And doing everything will actually, you know, sometimes set you back.
Yeah. So, like, when we started, like, doing shows and making clothes, like, we was living the life. Like, it wasn't nothing we couldn't make. We had manufacturers in India and China, Thailand on speed dial, right? We had embroidery machines, screen print machines, sergers, the heat press. We had it all, and I was sharp. Like, when I had to learn how to sew, I learned from some of the best people. So I was sharp. So, like, when it came time to do 3 fashion shows in a weekend, me and my team would sit in the lab and they would help me cut out my stuff, right? And then they would bag it up. So I had a team earlier on that was in the trenches with me every single day. So when I realized that I had to settle down was probably when I was shutting down fashion shows with just boxer briefs.
Okay.
And people was responding to the clothes that I was really putting a lot of time in. And somebody would walk down the runway with my boxer briefs on, and everybody would go wild. And my team kept saying, "Buie, we gotta push the briefs." And I'm like, no, like, I want to make, I want to grow fabric and turn it into trench coats, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is what I wanted to make fedoras. I wanted to design denim jeans, wax denim before people was wearing it, like, in every day. So, you know, but that was just me being creative, because when I get in my bag and I start studying and I realize that I can actually do it right now, it's hard for me to settle because I know that 9 times out of 10, just by culturally, I'm behind on fashion. So when I get it, I feel like I gotta drop it, because next year it's going to be a part of the mainstream trend, and the general population don't get it, and that was typically who I was around. So, you know, separating the Bernard Buie collection brand and just focusing on SOS boxer briefs, it was hard. It was hard.
I bet there was, because I could tell, you know, you're a creative, and I see that a lot with creatives in the business of being around the creator or the creative person. You know, you have to sort of like find that balance.
Yeah.
Because you always want to create, because you get inspiration from all sorts of things. You get inspiration from seeing other, I don't know, do you ever like go to fabric stores or anything like that and just touch the materials? And
I just go down the house and just rub my fingers across the fabrics.
And so then that right there just starts it in your head, and the wheels start turning. But then, you know, from the business side, you got to be able to, you know, put that, you know, just put that together and make sure that it's not too much creativity, but it's also not too much business, because that'll stifle the creativity. Yeah,
and a part of that I've always struggled with, because one of the reasons that I got into fashion outside of my parents like dressing me for success was because I knew I couldn't get locked up for selling it, right? Like, if I could have 1,000 T-shirts and to get pulled over and sell a copper T-shirt, like that was dope for me, right? Like I get pulled over for work in my trunk, I'm going to jail, right? And that's lost, right? So when I realized that I could sell something to anybody and be comfortable selling it to them was so easy to me, you know. And then being creative, but then understanding that making 10 pieces is exclusive to 30 people, right? But I want to do 1,000 units and be exclusive to 30,000 people, right? Like, so I had to step back and realize, like, I'm tired of making 10 units, 20 units, just stuff that I can sell from my Instagram or Facebook back at the time. Like, I didn't want to do that anymore. So I was really trying to advance the hustle because I was traveling and people wanted what I had everywhere I went.
I'm talking about just the merchandise itself?
Yeah.
And just seeing it?
Yeah. Like, I could sell.
So did you do a lot of, I guess, trade shows and things of that nature? As far as starting out? You
know what? The funny thing, my first trade show, I went to the biggest trade show for fashion in the United States, is the Magic Trade Show. So at 19, I went, and my father gave me his old ID when he was like 27, right? So like this is how much we looked alike right now to when he was 27. So he gave me his ID. He forgot I had it. So you know, back when AirTran was letting you fly, you know, one way $80. I'm just Googling trade shows, so I see the Magic Trade Show. It's in Vegas. So when I was in school, I only had class Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I was gone every weekend. So I went to Vegas, you know, on a one way trip with, like, I don't know, maybe like 50 T-shirts. And I said, yo, this is my way back. Like, if I don't sell these T-shirts,
you stuck in Vegas.
I'm stuck in Vegas, right? So I remember I sold a couple and I got a room at the Circus, you know, off the strip, one of the cheapest hotels you can get, right? And now I got my dad ID, so I go to the crap table, and they ask me for the ID, so I pull it out, and they looking at me like, this old ass ID, but they let me rock. So, you know, I'm gambling with my dad ID, and you know, after I'm done, I was like, I've accomplished something. Like, this is it. So then I go to the trade show. I got my T-shirts lined up, and this is just Barack Obama T-shirts, by the way. Like, this isn't a full collection yet. This is before all of my designs. And a lot of buyers was very interested in the T-shirts and the creativeness of me. And after that, I just kept going back.
So with you being young as you were at the time and getting into an industry, you know, that's predominantly, I say the powerful positions are held by, you know, people maybe late 30s, 40s, things of that nature, because they've got the experience under their belt. How receptive were, you know, other businesses to you? How receptive was not just, I guess, regular customers, but, you know, I guess business-to-business type customers, or how was that transition?
When I first started, when I didn't have something and they told me what it was that I needed, I would go and get it done. And I would keep going back. Like, my first store that I got my T-shirts in was USA Boutique at the Underground Mall, on top of the Underground Mall in Atlanta. And I went down there with T-shirts, going with the ambition to put my clothing into the store. So, you know, I scoped it out. I walked through the store, and I'm just looking like, okay, who I need to talk to. So I talk to the manager, and then he tells me, you know, well, you need a line sheet. I'm like, okay. I go home and make a line sheet. I come back. He's like, yeah, you need your wholesale and your suggested retail price on in your quantities and your color breakdown. I go home and I go do it. I come back the next day. He say, okay, you know, we going to do consignment or we going to do wholesale? I go back because I don't know what decision to make. I'm like, you know, all right, I got the T-shirts. I guess I can do consignment because I can get a higher number. But I didn't get paid straight up. But I wanted to show him that I could bring people to the store. So once I got the t-shirts in the store, I made everybody that I was cool with go buy the t-shirts. Like, I gave them some money just to go buy the t-shirts because it showed that I had consistency into the store. But he didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly. And then
So,
it built up the brand and the power of what you was doing.
Yeah.
So with those skill sets, you normally don't run into individuals who have that type of mindset, right? Because one, you had a vision at a young age when most people were just trying to figure out who they are at that time and what they want to do with their life because they don't have no idea. You not only know what you wanted to do, but you also took feedback, not in the form of criticism, but in the form of improving your process. Like, I still have people who can't get that concept down nowadays. So where do you think you get that from? Is that something that's always been instilled?
You know what? To be honest with you, it's the kill in me. Like, I grew up with having teachers that used to make me repeat recitations, right? Like, memorize this and live by it over and over again. Or like growing up and seeing people that I was talking to today and it's going tomorrow, and I remember the last words of what it would be. So, when I got in the world, it was like you only eat what you kill. Like, and you ain't gotta necessarily kill it every day, but like as long as you working towards killing it and you will eat then, you'll get up and you'll do what you're supposed to do. And I live by that. Like, I may not make $500 every day, right? But if I know if I get up every single day and then on Friday I make 500, I'm cool with that because I worked towards it, right? I filled up the cup and it overflowed on Friday.
Yeah.
So I had that in me because I seen it. I seen what that looked like. You just grind it out, like no haircut, just grind it out. Your boots dirty, grind it out. You hungry, grind it out. So it wasn't nothing to me to apply it to something that I really like.
Well, I think it's very impressive, and I commend you on that. Because I said a lot of people who they're scared, to get off the couch. They have a lot of grandiose ideas and ambitions and stuff, but they won't take one step forward.
Yeah.
So to actually do that, and to make something of it.
Yeah, like I'm scared of that. Like, that's my deepest fear, of not being able to do what I want to do. Like, I get scared. Like, thinking about me not being able to get up one day and somebody telling me actually what I have to do frightens me. Like, that's probably my deepest fear.
So I get the impression that your family, because I can't remember what the interview you did before, but were they business owners as well?
My father has always been a business owner because he sold drugs when I was younger. And my mother always had a job. My mother was never an entrepreneur. But I seen my mother raise me and my younger brother by herself when my dad wasn't there, and my brother's dad was dead already. And I seen my mother take care of us when my dad wouldn't pay his child support. Right? I seen my mom come up with Easter money, Black Friday money, send me back to school fresh money. Like, where she got it from, I don't know, but I always see my mom provide.
So did you, I guess, it's scoping you as a child and how you received that information, it seems like you took what you wanted from both of them and you merged it together.
Most definitely.
It's definitely dope that you was able to do that.
But that was hard though, because like my birthday, my mom wanted me, my dad wanted me. Christmas, my dad got me Christmas Eve, my mom got me Christmas Day. Thanksgiving, I ate twice. Like, it was always a middle, and like I got one picture with my mom and my dad together. My parents were like, I feel like they just had sex and I was made, and it was like, oh yeah, like, all right, we done. Like, are you having a baby? All right, we're gonna name him after you because you are who you are, and it's just gonna be that. So it's always been a separation between both sides of my family. So I had to do that, and it was like like mentally, it played a lot because I always had to be stronger for both of them. When I forgot my sneakers that my dad got me at my mom's, and he say something about the sneakers, I can't say because my mom told me to keep them here. I gotta say because I forgot them, and I gotta take that. I gotta take him saying, "Why you forgot your sneakers?" Or my mom, like, "I bought you a brand new hoodie, and why your dad got it? I paid for it. He got all that money. Why he ain't buy you another one?" But I had to take a lot of those mental scars just to ease one of their minds at times. So by the time I was mature in my head, I was 11. Like I got it that quick because I got tired of hearing both of their mouths.
Yeah, and I'm sure that prepares you for the industry as well, though.
Yeah.
For no's and just people telling you, "Oh, you're not going to be able to do this and that," and then even peers. I could imagine you telling your peers and letting them know that this is your dream and this is what you're setting out to do, and just how the naysayers, because it seems like especially in our community, when we want to accomplish something, we always have people projecting their own insecurities onto us, therefore putting doubt in our brains of what we can accomplish.
Yeah. So to that point, I've had more people tell me I can do it than I can't do it.
Oh, that's great.
So the hard part to that was me actually going and figuring it out.
Yeah.
Like, still putting the things in place every single day, because they wouldn't help me do it because it wasn't their dream, or it was too far-fetched for them to see 100 steps down the road and starting from brick one. Like when I said, I want to write a book, right? And they say, well, you got to sit down a lot. I'm like, no, I'm gonna voice record my way through this book, and then I'm gonna get somebody to type it up for me. Like, they couldn't see stuff like that. So when it was time for me to do the things that I wanted to do, I knew I had to bootstrap on my own, because it wasn't nobody that was about to sit beside me unless it was a part of the industry. But growing up, like, everybody I grew up with played ball and sold drugs, right? So nobody was talking about designing clothes or doing something positive. It was like, let me get paid and then go spend this bread that I just made because I want to live that life. But I wanted to make the money and still get fresh at the same time.
Okay. Well, we're going to get more into that, and then I want to get into the motivational and also the book as well and everything you have going up. But we're going to pause for a moment. We're going to cut to this song by Buckman titled Check. Anybody out there, you can dial at the time, 917-889-8041. Get back to it. All right, y'all, tune into the Bankedoutt Radio Show, and we have Mr. Buie in studio with us today. First of two guests that came down from Atlanta, and I want to get into the high school speaking and being a motivational speaker. What really inspired that? Because I know you have a lot to talk about, even in the short period of time of doing stuff. So what made you want to really go to the high schools?
Because when I was in high school, a lot of people didn't come back to my high schools looking like me, or from the industry that I was in, right? People that came back to the high school was sports players. It wasn't just somebody that was everyday that made it somewhere that wasn't mainstream, but they were still doing what they wanted to do. So, just that first. And the second thing is because, I feel like I have something that all kids need. And if one person listens to it, that's all that matters to take them to the next level. Because you can hear something one time, and then 20 years later, you remember that one thing that gets you to the next level. It was all worth you stand up and listening to it.
How's the feedback been? Have you been to a lot of high schools, and thus far is it starting to catch on?
Yeah, I've been ever since I was just in Philly, right? Like, when I moved away from Philly at 18, I've been speaking at the same high school since I was 19.
Okay.
So, like, over and over again, the same teachers that's been there then, my teachers then are still teaching, and I go back and I speak to their classes. Or in Atlanta, when I was doing just plain volunteer work, I go back to the schools that I was volunteering at then and go back and speak to the students, because it's just important. Like, would they tell you what I would be where I am right now? Probably not. Like, I didn't even know what I wanted to do when I got to college. I just know I wanted to do business. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just, even back further than that, I just knew I wanted to get out of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And the closest thing to it was Los Angeles. And luckily, the program started in January, and I wanted to get out of Philly in July. And the only program that was starting was Atlanta. So I said, Atlanta it is.
Okay.
So going into these schools, I tell them the truth. Like, you got to do it your way, because when you look up, you can be miserable. And that's college or non-traditional school. Go and get a certification, or, find a hustle and build an empire from it legally.
Yeah.
Right? So I try to give them all different types of nuggets, because my life has been a little diverse.
How is the reception from our community as far as support and seeing what you do, and then, just, I guess, whether it be feedback, actual, sales, or push you onto their networks?
I can say I'm blessed. Maybe I'm blessed because I take the no's just as well as the yeses. Or, I take the sneak dissing as motivation, or, somebody closing the door and me kicking the window in for me to get in. So I don't really see none of it. I just try to stay positive, because I have no room in my life for any of it, because I'm like pushing this envelope. When I stop is when it stops. There is no one pushing it for me. So I have to keep going, because I live off what I do. Yeah. Right? Like, I don't have 401k, or I don't have rich parents. Right? I don't have a big savings account. My contracts with my clients is probably the most advanced money that I could, like, kind of see. Right? Like, okay, this month someone's going to pay me X amount of dollars for this many months, but if they ain't got the money, then what happens?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
They could go broke.
Yeah,
they could fall off the earth, and then what I'm going to do? Sue them, put a lien on it. I still got to wait for that money to come.
Exactly.
Right?
You
So
still got to eat in between.
Still got in between. So even with that, there's no security in that. So you still got to get up and do what you got to do to get money in your hand that day or that month, because you still got stuff to do.
Yeah. Do you run across individuals or groups of people who tend to think, because I see, like, the last couple of years entrepreneurship being, like, trendy and stuff like that. Do you see people who just think it is easy and all you got to do is do this and do that, and don't understand the depth of work you really have to put into it?
Yeah, I see it every day. I get calls all the time about, hey, I want to start. My favorite one is clothing lines, right? Like, yo, I'm ready to start a clothing line. You know what? I'm going to go to Gildan. I'm going to go buy some T-shirts. And I'm going to use a heat press machine. Or I'm going to send my T-shirts off. And now I got a T-shirt line, right? Now I got a collection. Your shirt say Hanes, Gildan in the tag.
Exactly.
It's not no clothing line, bro. Sis, it's not a clothing line. Your tag don't say your brand.
Exactly.
Right? You don't have copyrights to your designs.
Exactly.
You don't have an LLC.
Exactly.
You don't have a business bank account. You don't have. You don't even. Like just those preliminary things.
Yes.
Is so far fetched, and people that got a little, even like small Instagram celebrities, they start a clothing line because they got followers. They're ordering shirts and just getting them printed and selling them. Right? They're getting.
You make something bigger than what it is. I don't like when people do that.
Yeah, like, miss me with that because it's so much that goes into it, and it's not hard to do those things. You just gotta have somebody that's really been there, and that understands that. And that's why I started Team Buie Consulting because I was meeting people every day that was they thought they was cheating, but they were really cheating themselves in the long run, because you meet somebody that owns a store and they got a table set up, and then they just, oh, this is nice, and they flip the tag and they say Gildan and it got American Apparel in it, right? Or they know they can see the tag was ripped out because you got that item from the thrift store, and then you cut the sleeves off it and you put the leather sleeves on, you put the patches on, and you selling it. I can't put that in my store. I can't shop that to no buyers.
Yeah.
Y'all bugging. So.
Yeah, I definitely I can see where that is a whirlwind, especially in your field of expertise. Because I see it all the time when people want to start things, and I just think it's easy. I see people wanting to start podcasts now because it's like the new hot thing to do. But I'm like, I tell people, I've been doing this for 2 years now. I done built up. Prior to that, I built up relationships, and I don't think people really understand the importance of that either. Relationship building. They look at the quick money, but they rather take the quick money over building a relationship that can sustain you 20 years. Yeah. As opposed to just I'm gonna just get a quick flip.
Yeah.
And those are the ones, they burn out, and I tell people all the time that the marketplace will allow people in, but it'll also kick you out too.
Yeah.
Right. The only thing I have concern with is that it devalues in regular consumers' eyes the value which you bring to the table. Yeah. Because they see all these pop-ups along the way.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm like, it takes away from the value with the people who really putting in the work and understand the industry and know how to, maneuver in the industry when it changes, and even push the envelope of creativity and what they're going to put out there, and all the research that goes into it, all the capital that goes into it. So I definitely don't like that part of it. As far as your book that you're writing, right? Is this going to be like a more of a reflection, autobiography, or?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
It's that, and at the end of each chapter, I put it back on the reader and ask them what are they doing with their life.
Okay.
With different questions for every chapter.
So not just something that people read and, okay, I got an understanding of his life, but okay, let me get an understanding of what he accomplished, but then, what do I need to be doing? Yeah. Type of, okay, that's definitely, I don't think I've heard of someone writing a book in reflection where, they're actually pushing the reader to challenge themselves. So that's definitely dope. So as far as in the future, what can we expect within the next couple of years?
I'm going to expect, and as far as my life, you can expect me doing a lot more of what I want to be doing, and not knowing that I'm doing it, because my plan was to never be the American designer. Was never to be kind of sort of like Ralph Lauren, right? My idea was to just feed my family and step back and help other people do it over and over and over again, because when you at the top, that's when they're coming for you, right? Just put me right there, the last pinnacle, right before the top, right? So I can always say it's somewhere else I need to get to, but I'll get there when I get to. But I know how far I've come and how steep that drop is.
Okay.
So it's going to stay in the fashion. It's going to stay in the fashion realm, and it don't mean runway. It don't mean Bloomingdale's. Like, you know, I want to grow fabrics. I want to grow, like with the legalization of marijuana, right? There's a part of that called the hemp, which you can spin the same way you do cotton. I've been playing with that, I don't know, 5 years ago, right? And now you're starting to see more states legalizing marijuana, which means...
Can't you make clothing out of hemp?
Yes, you can.
I watched a documentary on it, and it's due to my daughter has a condition where she has seizures and stuff. And before, Georgia right now is still in the gray as far as you can buy hemp now because we get the pills for her. And so far she hasn't been having any seizures along with the medication for the seizures, but I don't want her to just be limited just with the standard tradition of American pharmaceutical stuff.
That's right.
But I thought it was interesting, just watching the documentary on hemp and seeing why they've been outlawing it and stuff. And I'm like, come on, it's helping.
Yeah, it's helping. It's helping. So
you want to outlaw it, and it's bureaucracy. I just hate it. Yeah.
So just hemp, right? You can make fabric. You can yeast and bacteria. Like, people are making clothing from that. Like, there's so much you could do. The technology within fashion, the wearable art, is a whole nother thing, right? Making your clothing, talk with your body, like have a conversation, within odors that you have at certain times. It could repel that, sweat resistant, all the textiles and things like that is really where I want to be playing in that space, because I like to develop, I like to create, but at the same time I like to push for things that the average person that looks like us can't achieve, and show them that it's doable right now where you are. So playing in that space, and then as far as entrepreneurial endeavors, I love business. I love putting myself in a position where I'm at ground zero and helping someone achieve their ultimate goal, whether it's me being a mentor, or me being a business partner, or me just being a light for them to talk to while they're on these endeavors, is what I like to do.
Okay. So if anybody out there, want to do business with you, want to see, what you have going on, want to hire you, motivational speaker, what is the best way to contact you?
The best way is my cell phone number.
Okay.
215-868-3050. My website, teambuie.com. My email address is my name, Bernard Buie. That's BERNARD BUIE. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of the social media is Bernard Buie. I'm around.
Okay. And do you have any final words or anything you would like to let the people know or leave them with?
Yeah, of course. The first thing is just chase your dreams. Like, I don't wake up angry about where you gotta go when you have a choice to where you can be. Stick with that. Like, just work your way to it. And it don't mean that you have to be an entrepreneur. It don't mean that you gotta go and create something to find a space, but just be the best in your position of where you were at that time. If you are a disc jockey, then be the best disc jockey. Like Les Brown said, if you the best trash man, everybody in the neighborhood know you the best trash man. You the mailman, know everybody's name on a first name basis with the kids, right? If you're the best, whoever, just be the best at it, and hang around the best that's doing it in other industries, because it'll go a long way when somebody knows you and they always calling you because they met somebody that want to be doing what you're doing or is doing what you're doing, and they want to put you in contact with them because you're the best at what you do. You'll never go broke.
Yeah.
Somebody will always be calling you because they think you can help somebody. You're the guru, or yeah, that's my man, or that's my homie. they can put you on. Be that person that puts the people on, and you'll never be a dull moment for you.
Definitely been enjoying this interview, and I'm gonna check out your man too, the comedian and what is he had actor and writer. Definitely was checking out some videos of his, so definitely want to come back and bring him down to get on the show so everybody can hear about him as well.
Oh, you talking about seafood?
Yeah, seafood.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. That was funny. I didn't even get to check out all his stuff, but I'm definitely gonna check him out.
Yeah.
Would love to have him
I'm
on
bringing
the show.
him back, and then I'm gonna bring back. We just got a new member that's a part of the team. He's a sociology major.
Okay.
And he cares a lot about what's going on in the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So next time I come up, I want to bring both of them.
Okay, that's fine. We can do it. We can do it.
They're young kings, and they own industries, and they got something to do out here.
Definitely. We're gonna highlight. That's what we built this platform for, to highlight what we want to highlight as far as our culture and community, and to put us on the pedestals that we should be standing on, and not to let just mainstream paint the picture of who we are as people, because I never like that narrative. But I definitely appreciate you coming down. We're going to get into our second guest, but prior to that, we're going to hit y'all with this Holy Grail by MKB. Y'all make sure y'all go check out teambuie.com and support everything that Mr. Buie has going on.